So this video is the second day of 3.6, so we're going to be graphing compound inequalities based on the equation that they give us. So a simple, just inequality equation, this starts at -3, it's an open dot because it's not greater than or less than or equal to, so open dot. My variable sits on my left side, so I can do the way the arrow cheats, so it's going to be to the right. So that's just our simple one. Next we're going to be moving to some compound ones. Okay, so we're going to have two different inequalities. So like we did last class, I'm going to have to break it down, so we're going to be working the opposite direction than we have been. Okay, so I'm going to look at this one first. So -1 is less than x. Okay, I always want my variable on the left side, so I graph it easier. So right now x is being eaten, so I want to eat x again. So here's my first equation. Okay, now my second equation is right here. This x is less than or equal to 2. My variable is already on the left side, so I don't need to worry about moving it. So let's go ahead and graph it. So this one sits at -1. It's an open dot because of the inequality, and it shades to the right. Okay, this other one here starts at 2, so we got -1, 0, 1, 2, and it's a closed dot. Okay, my variable's on the left side, so I can use my cheat arrow, and my cheat arrow goes to the left. Okay, so all of these numbers in here are what's going to make it true. So 0, 1, 2, those numbers that if I put them in for x, it's going to be true. So this one's an and problem because it's shaded in the middle. Okay, we call those and problems. Or problems are going to be shaded opposite directions. It's this or this. Okay, or means you have to pick one or the other. And so I would say it's kitties and puppies. Okay, so I'm including both of them. So right now we're including everything in the middle. Okay, so let's break this one first. So I got 0 is less than k. So k is being eaten, so I'm going to have k being eaten again. And then we have k is less than 2 is my other one. So I'm going to do this first one in gray here. So we got 0, 1, 2, 3, -1. Okay, so this first one is an open dot at 0, and my cheat arrow points to the right. Okay, this other one I'm going to do in black. Starts at 2, again it's an open dot, and my cheat arrow tells me to point to the left. So this is another and problem because they're shaded in the center. We're including both things. We're including kitties and puppies. Okay, this is an or problem, so we know they're most likely going to be going away from each other. We're picking either kitties or puppies. We're not including both of them. Okay, so let's graph this one first. So I'm going to graph this one in red. So it starts at 3. It's an open dot because it's not a greater than or less than or equal to type of problem. And my arrow should go to the right because that's where my cheat arrow goes because my variable's on my left side. This next one I am going to do in brown. Starts at -4 and it is an open dot. And my cheat arrow tells me to point to the left. Okay, so you can see how both of these are going outward. It's an or problem, so they should go out. You're picking one or the other. Okay, they're not including each other. Okay, so we have another or problem, so it looks like they should be going out. So we got 0, 1, 2. I'm going to put a 9 out there. Okay, so I'm going to graph this first one in the pink. So it is an open dot. My variable is on my left side, so I know I can shade whichever way my arrow points. So I'm going to it's pointing to the right, so I shade to the right. Okay, my other one I'm going to do in purple. Starts at -2, it's an open dot. My variable sits on my left side again, so then I can do whichever way my arrow points, and it points to the left, so they are pointing outward again. Okay, this doesn't say or in it, so we can kind of assume it's an and problem. But I need to break it down into my two different problems because right now I don't know how to graph this. Okay, so I'm going to break this one first. So x is being eaten, so I need x to be eaten again. My other one right here just goes like that. Okay, so I'm going to get my number line here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, 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 blah. We'll say 9's right there. Okay, so I'm going to do this one first. So it's a closed dot this time because it has the line underneath at 2. And if we think it's an and problem, that means they should be coming towards each other. Okay, so my variable is sitting on my left side, so it should be shaded to the right this time. And my other one, my 9's also a closed dot. My variable is on my left side, and it's pointing to the left, so it looks like they share this central here. So that means any of these numbers that I pick in here, if I plug them in for x, it's going to be true. Okay, an or problem. So we think this is probably going to go outward. So let's go ahead and get our number line. 4, 6. I'm going to go up by evens on that side. Okay, so I'm going to graph this one first. So my variable is sitting on my left side, so I'm good to shade whichever direction it points. It sits at 7, and it's an open dot because there is no line underneath. And it points to the right, so I'm going to go to the right. This one sits at -1. Again, it's an open dot. My variable is sitting on the left side, and an arrow points to the left. Okay, so this or, they are going away from each other. Okay, this one I need to break apart, so I got -6. My x is being eaten, so I need my x to be eaten again. And then we have this other one right here with that 20. Let's draw my number line. So we have -6, 0, blah, 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 and 20 somewhere out here. So I'm going to graph this one first. So it is an open dot, and my variable is on the left side, so I can shade the direction it points, so it's pointing to the right. Okay, and then we're going to graph this other one. Open dot at 20, my variable sits on the left side, and it is pointing to the left. Okay, so it is an and problem. So all of these points in here, if I plug them in for x, they should work.